Project managers are notoriously time poor and often take responsibility for all tasks required to deliver a project on time and within budget. Obtaining town planning approval usually represents an arduous but necessary aspect of a project and one that can be overlooked. However, when integrated into a project, costly delays can be avoided. Here are 3 tips that CS Town Planning has identified that can make a project more seamless when considering the requirements for a planning permit. Know what you need planning approval for. Town planning approval may only be required for a very specific aspect of a project. For small-scale renovations or fit-outs, it may only be a very niche item that requires town planning approval, such as a business identification sign. Demolition and minor works, such as erecting internal walls, may be completed without the need for planning approval. This can save time on a project and allow work to be done while a planning application is prepared, submitted, and approval is pending. Provide the relevant planning information. The type and amount of information submitted with a planning application is based on the requirements that trigger the need for planning approval. When assessing a planning application, council planners only want to assess information that is relevant. If superfluous information is included in the application, it could heighten the prospect of receiving a request for further information, stopping the clock, and delaying the assessment of the application. We encourage submitting a set of project-specific plans and relevant documentation that will support and facilitate the approval of an application. Consult your building surveyor. If planning approval is required, it is the responsibility of the licensed building surveyor to ensure that they have cited the necessary planning permit and accompanying plans for a project. It is widely known that a building permit is required for construction. There may be all of the necessary documentation for building approval, but have a discussion and confirm that the building surveyor is comfortable a planning permit is not required, because finding out that a planning permit is required at a later stage could result in project delays that will take months. This will be very frustrating for a project manager, as there will be delays and an unforeseen level of risk introduced as the planning application process runs its course. CS Town Planning was recently approached by a project manager with a very specific brief to obtain planning approval. We assessed the project requirements and recommended an alternative process, resulting in reduced approval requirements and an improvement in the project timeline. Getting proactive on town planning requirements in consultation with our team at CS Town Planning can help prevent downtime on a project by identifying those aspects that require planning approval and allowing some of the on-site works to begin early, resulting in less risk and more predictable project timelines. If you would like assistance with the planning process and obtaining approval for your project, contact CS Town Planning.